We have breaking news in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, have cut cornerback, big play, Darius Slay. Y'all know we gonna talk about it and break it all down, but you gotta hear the intro first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. I'm your host here, Bobby. So if you're tuned in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. Now, it's being reported from Adam Schefter that the Philadelphia Eagles have cut Darius Slay, aka Big Play Slay, from the squad. This is a guy that has had an outstanding career and just capped the, helped that career by becoming a champion in the NFL, which is extremely hard to do. My man's has been around for a while, 12 years in the NFL. And the Philadelphia Eagles, we know Howie Roseman and the way he handles business over there in Philly. He don't play no games. And he cut Big Play Slay. It was being rumored, and I believe he even said it out of his mouth himself when doing the St. Brown podcast with Amara and Equinami and St. Brown, pretty much saying, hey, doesn't work out with the Philadelphia Eagles, I'm willing to ride in the NFL before he ends his long career in the NFL. This is a guy that has been outstanding every destination that he's been at. And we just got to come to the conclusion that this is just the nature of the business, really. Especially when you look at how it all worked out with the Philadelphia Eagles. You feel like this move, even though it can save your organization $4 million, you understand it from the football aspect a little bit, especially when you look at those young cornerbacks that the Philadelphia Eagles already have on the team, guys that stepped up big time for the team and helped that defense become one of the most feared defenses for the foreseeable future. They had a great playoff run, whooping on teams. I think their toughest match, at least from my evaluation, was against the Rams. But then after that, they just kind of whooped on the rest of the teams to ultimately going in and going ahead and grabbing themselves a championship. They whooped on teams. And when you look at guys like Quinyon Mitchell, and then you look on the other side at Cooper DeJean, you know what I'm saying? You feel pretty damn good where the Eagles are going in their defensive backfield, and it was just time. You thank Darius Slay for his commitment to the Philadelphia Eagles these last few years, and you look at him and you say, hey, appreciate you, big dog, but I think it's time to move in the next direction. And you got to understand, it's just the nature of the business. Me personally, I think they could have just let him ride out and retire an Eagle. I think they really could have. I think they could have really just let him. Hey, he said that he wanted to just play one more season. Hey, but they got other things that they want to go out there and obtain. And yes, so it is being, you know what I'm saying? I did find the information. He did say that if he was released by the Eagles, he'll want to play his last year with the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions, they need some help on their defense. So it could be a solid acquisition if the Detroit Lions feel like he can be one of those guys to come in and help out the squad. And it's not a bad return to have, to just let him go off into the sunset, trying to play one more season of meaningful football. We know that while he was over there in Detroit, he was a monster over there and with the Philadelphia Eagles. So what better way to just return to one of those organizations where it all began, and then just saying, hey, let me go ahead and ride off into the sunset. So I'm not mad at it, even though it only saves the Eagles $4 million. You got to move on. But it does bring up a conversation that me and Steve-O had about Diana Rossini on one of our daily episodes this past week. pretty much saying that, hey, when Diana Rossini, one of the best reporters in the NFL, tells you that she's hearing something, you better believe it. And it's going to be interesting to see how the Philadelphia Eagles continue to move on, because those rumors and some of those assumptions coming out of Diana Rossini's mouth is that the Eagles might be trying to make way for Myles Garrett. Me and Steve-O was on here and we was like, bro, if y'all really trying to go out the Myles Garrett and y'all are able to add him to that defense that just did that in the playoffs, y'all cheating. Roger Goodell, we might have to pull a David Stern and veto something. I'm just saying they cheating. But you can't be mad at good organizations. Like when you're looking at it and thinking logically, you can't be mad at organizations for being good. And the Eagles, they have this mentality. Hey, we going for it every single time. They let go Doug Peterson. I think like a year or two. It was like 2 years after his championship. Got him up out of there. You're no longer a part of our future plans. We appreciate you. Thank you for the championship. It's time to move on to Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni even, made himself to the Super Bowl. Ultimately, he lost a few years ago. But even after going to that Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles organization was like, hey, the seat's getting hot. Or at least that was some of the rumors. So you look at that and you say, hey, we got to make some of this money. If it is just rumors, so it is just rumors, but what it's looking like, and we still got ways to go before we really, really try to see if the Myles Garrett to Philly is a possible thing. Letting go Darius Slay opens up some more money. Now you got to think about guys that you probably got to dish out some money to, and Sweat and Bond. Those guys were big contributors to the success of the Eagles defense as well. Do you not pay Bond again? I mean, do you not offer Bond that money? Do you let Sweat walk away? It's going to be some tough decisions, but if they are trying to push for back-to-back champions, what better way than to have this young defense add a Myles Garrett to it? That will be criminal. That will be criminal. Myles Garrett with the Jalen Carter on the defense. Sheesh. And your cornerbacks, they young, talented prospects who performed well throughout the playoffs. Man, it's gonna be some jealous times for people that hate the Philadelphia Eagles if they are able to continue to have this type of run, because your offense is already set. You got your Saquon, you got your quarterback in Hurst, you got your two wideouts, you got your decent tight end that can go out there and make weight, and your offensive line is still young in most spots and still one of the best around the league. Man. To add that and continue to improve on the defensive side is just something that you got to think about. It's going to be interesting to see how Washington feels about all these moves, because Washington just went out this past weekend and acquired Deebo Samuel, and I'm pretty sure with all the money they got, they are going to try to go out there and steal guys like Myles Garrett from the Philadelphia Eagles if there is a, desire to go acquire a Myles Garrett. But they cut Big Play Slay. They let them go. They need some of that money back up in their pockets so they can probably give it out again. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Philadelphia Eagles, man. But they starting to look like they trying to position themselves to where they either going to pay some of the guys that they already have or try to give out some of that money to probably some more guys that they want to help this team to go for championship number 2 in a row. It's going to be interesting because the combine just ended. Teams are starting to make cuts and tags. Free agency is getting ready to open up. Pro days are going to come around. And the NFL draft is going to be here. It's going to be some exciting times for NFL fans, no matter who you rep. If you're a real guy like me and my co-host Steve-O who just loves football, yes, all of us have our own personal teams that we root for more so than others, but fans of the game, you gonna love some of the things that are about to happen coming up in these next few weeks around the NFL just for the sake of the love of the game. And right here on NFL Central, we love the game. We talk about schematics. We talk about things that most people don't necessarily look at. And at least in my opinion, from scouring around and talking with other people's, a lot of people like the big names, but we like to get into schematics along with some of those smaller names and the big names to provide y'all with the best content that we can possibly provide y'all with. So yeah, big play Slay. You ain't no eagle no more, big dog. But he ain't no bum. I still think that, hey, if he comes back for that last year, this upcoming season, like he wants to, and go over there with the Detroit Lions, I do believe that he can have an impact if I'm speaking objectively. But hey, y'all let me know how y'all feeling about all that. Before we go, want to shout out to some of my people in the chat. Shout out to my man Jacob Pone. Yo, gang them, what's the word? What up, my guy? Big Blaze in the building said, what's up, Bobby? Let's go. You already know, big dog. What's the word? Trying to get y'all this content, man. Build this NFL Central channel up to a place where it deserves to be. Dexter, what's good, my guy? He said, what's good, Bobby? Y'all are so fucking dope, bro. Keep the momentum. Hey, man, that's what we trying to do, man. And if y'all wasn't able to catch out the winners and the losers of the draft combine, go out and check out the daily episode that me and Steve-O dropped about a couple hours ago. I think it's really, really interesting. And I would love to hear some of y'all thoughts on who y'all believe were some of the winners and the losers of the draft combine. And we also got some other topics in there for y'all to enjoy as well. But man, I just want to bring y'all this breaking news. The Philadelphia Eagles cut cornerback, big play Darius Slay. And now we're going to see how these other teams are going to start to position themselves now that the draft is over. And these guys can start talking about contracts and new destinations or returning to destinations in like a week. So it's gonna get real spicy around it. It's gonna get real hot. You might see less hoodies and beanies around this motherfucker because the NFL was about to go bonkers. It's about to go bonkers. I think a lot of teams are gonna be trying to position themselves to where they can either take a huge step forward or try to propel a little bit more down the road for their necessary future, like the Cleveland Browns should. Man, y'all ain't been right since y'all let Baker go. But y'all wanted a massage therapist in Deshaun Watson. But that's another topic for another day. I had to throw a shout out there, but it's okay. So that's it for me, y'all. If there's any more breaking news, man, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure we get that out to y'all. Maybe if there's too much at once, me and Steve-O might have to jump on a little later and just do a full live for y'all. But we'll see what the day brings. But in the meantime, in between time, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. We appreciate y'all because we are the #1 spot for everything NFL, and we stamping it right now. So we appreciate y'all, and we gonna catch y'all on the next one for sure.